I want to talk about how I won big time taking advice from another YouTube reseller. And then we're going to talk about the 3 items that sold that directly apply to this conversation. But before we get into that, if we haven't met before, my name is Brian and I'm a reseller. I've been reselling on eBay for about 7.5 years now. I sell stuff in the everything category. So I go to garage sales, estate sales, and thrift stores, and I pick things up to sell on eBay for a profit. I listen to a lot of different YouTube reselling content, and I always recommend to people not to listen just to one person. Listen to a variety. Go find 4, 5, 6 people to listen to, and you're going to pick up nuggets of information from all of them. And I do highly recommend you go find the people that are doing well, that have a positive message, that are going to encourage you in your reselling business. Don't listen to the folks that say, eBay is a scam, they're greedy, it's horrible, blah. You don't need to go down that path. There are plenty of ways to be successful on eBay, and everybody has their own definition of success. For what I'm doing right now, I feel successful. I'm fine with what I'm doing right now. Some people may look at my business and say, I'm way off, I'm doing horrible, and I do make mistakes, but I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna keep charging forward. So make sure you find, define what success looks like for you, why you're selling on eBay, and just, head towards that goal, towards that definition for your business. So I talked about this a little bit, I think in 2 different videos, but this is a very good example of it today, is not promoting anymore. And I say not promoting anymore. What I mean by that is when I list a brand new product, I'm no longer going to automatically promote that item. I'm giving it 30 days to sell at regular price, no promoted listings, before I go back and decide to promote it. You can do that manually, and if you only have a handful of listings, it's easier to manage. If you have hundreds or thousands of listings, it may be a lot more difficult. It's very easy for me because I use Flipwise. They have a feature. There's 2 features that allow me to do this. There's one feature that auto relists your products. It delists and sells similar or relists your products like eBay, kind of, but not exactly. What it does is it creates a new item identifying number on eBay. So it lists it as a new item, where when eBay does it, they're just refreshing the item, if you will, so it doesn't appear higher in item search as a new item. Whenever Flipwise does it, they're doing it just ahead of eBay doing it, and then they are listing it as a new item. And it keeps doing that if you opt into that feature. That way your item keeps listed as a new item every 30 days. And it's not necessarily your whole store every 30 days. It's as your items approach 30 days. So there's items that happens to all the time. And then there's a new feature that allows you to list your items brand new, not promoted, and then you can turn it on to where it will promote your item during the first relist. So after 30 days, it will start promoting your item at a percentage that you choose. I've chosen 5%. That's just me. Maybe too high for some people, maybe too low. It could be all over the board, but that's what I'm starting off with. So you're giving your items 30 days to sell without having to pay a promoted listing fee. And if you're picking the right items, that could really pay off for you. This all came about, the reason Justin did this for Flipwise is eBay's new promoted listing policy is a little bit just broad. So it gives eBay the most opportunity to make money off of your items. Versus the way they had it set up before, where it had to be directly related with somebody clicking on your item and then buying the item. And it's changed quite a bit. And so you may see lots of additional revenue, coming out of your business if you're promoting just every item from the get-go. So Justin's doing a similar thing in his eBay store. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that and just see what happens. And I tell you what, it's paying off for me already. It paid off in the 3 items we're going to talk about today that sold yesterday. All new listings, all sold without promoted listings. So I get to keep that money. It's not a guarantee that they would have sold on promoted listings. They were promoted, but now I'm completely taking that off the board and keeping that profit for myself. So if you have any questions or comments about anything that I just said there, make sure and drop that down in the comment section below. And it is important to note, I don't want to disregard this. This matters if you're picking good items. If when you're looking at the items, you're comping your items, you're making sure they're going to sell, there's demand for them. You want to make sure you have good listings. You want to have good pictures. You want to have good descriptions. You want to have them at the market price. You don't want to price them way, way high and go, oh, I'm going to sell them without a promoted listing and make a whole ton of money when the market's selling them right here. So you have to pay attention to those things in order for this to work. If you're just going to turn it off and just take horrible pictures and just say, this is my thing in your description, this is my item, and price it at $50 when everyone's selling it for $20, it's not going to work for you. So you've got to pay attention to those things and make sure you are selling your items properly. First of all, you're buying them properly, and then you're listing them properly all the way through. Don't want to neglect that part. It's extremely important that that's the foundation of this whole thing working out. So let's take a look at it. We're going to pack the 3 items. I already printed off the shipping labels, but we're going to go ahead and pack the 3 items that sold yesterday. The first item that did sell yesterday was this 13-inch Pampered Chef pizza stone I picked up at my local Goodwill. Still in the box. It's not in perfect shape. It's got a little bit of seasoning to it, but it's in really good shape. The sell-through rate on these was about 55-60%, so I went ahead and picked it up. I paid $8.41 for it, and I sold it in about 48 hours for $28.89 plus shipping. That gave me a $14.22 pre-tax profit on this pizza stone. Really fast flip, very happy with that. Pampered Chef pizza stones, you know, I like to sell them I like to buy them for under $5 if I can, but once I looked up for this one, looked up the comps, it made sense to buy it. I am being a lot more picky about the inventory I'm buying right now. I'm trying to put good stuff in my store, not have slow selling items in my store. I know I'm still selling through a bunch of older, slow items, and people heckle me for it. They're like, man, I can't believe you would have bought that. I'm like, well, I did. I'm not now. I wouldn't buy it today. But it's funny how people get on to me about that. But that's okay. I don't mind. I like people getting on to me in the comments, telling me how bad I am at reselling. I often wonder, I was like, do these people have eBay stores? Are they out there reselling too? Or are they just like giving me a hard time for fun? One thing I do with my pizza stones is I always add extra cardboard to the piece itself for extra protection if it's bumping around in the box, because the boxes they come in are they're flimsy boxes, if you will. The corrugate is really kind of flimsy. So I take all these extra scraps that I save when I cut down boxes and I wrap them around my pizza stone boxes. And, you know, all Pampered Chef just about, I wrap it around. And then occasionally other items, I'll wrap cardboard around them for extra protection. I don't go super crazy with it, but I want to make sure it gets there one piece. I definitely have had comments from people saying, hey, I had one person that sold Pampered Chef before, but other people that have gotten it or on eBay before and said, man, this was the best packaging job I've seen on Pampered Chef before, that's exactly what I'm striving for, is that customer experience, that they really felt like they got something that was, you know, well protected, and they have a good buying experience. So that is, when I cut my shrink wrap, probably because I'm a weirdo, that's kind of what it looks like. You can kind of see, I don't protect the corners. This is just for the boxes. There's, I have shrink, I'm going to put bubble wrap around this too, but that's what it looks like. So it just gives extra padding when it hits side to side, that nothing's going to affect that pizza stone. I don't know where y'all are at today, but the winter storm is fast approaching Oklahoma City. It is getting colder. It's not crazy yet. It's still above freezing, I believe. But the wind got a little bit crazy. And it is whipping out there. I can hear it rattling the storage unit doors. Okay. Got that side. Got that one wrapped there. Since I'm using 12-inch rolls, it doesn't cover the entire thing, so I'm going to go both ways with it. Just like that. And this part really probably doesn't add just tons of extra protection. It does add some, but I feel like people like to see their stuff wrapped up like this. Gives them a better feeling when they unwrap it, like it was really wrapped with care. And again, that's what I'm going for. I want my customers to be happy when they open their boxes. All right, so there we go. Just putting it in an old recycled Amazon box. The lids, the flaps are a little wonky, but that's okay. Just gonna put a little bit of paper here in the bottom just to keep it right off the bottom of the box. Good deal. Then I'll put a little bit of paper across the top. That's kind of what it looks like, all bundled up. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. It's good to go. I feel like I want a little bit of extra paper though. There we go. I like that better. Got to be careful. I'm about to run out of tape. I did put my backup eBay tape down here. All right. Got that bad boy all packed up. Got the shipping label here. Just going to put a quick thank you note going all the way up to Mill Creek, Utah. Shout out to Mill Creek, Utah. Thank you for your purchase. Enjoy. This shipping UPS or USPS Ground Advantage. I am going to start, as I'm listing items, I'm going to start shopping my shipping around a little bit. I have been seeing some items where it makes more sense. This one might have been one of them, I don't know, but makes more sense to ship them UPS specifically versus USPS. So we'll see what that looks like. You know what? I want these. Looks like I need to tape those down just a touch right there. There we go. Put a little bit of extra tape there. That's better. All right, that one's good to go. And again, $14.22 on profit on an $8.41 purchase price in about 24 to 48 hours. I think it's 24 hours. It's sold pretty fast. Next item that we have here, I already have all the box and packing materials ready, shipping labels ready. I didn't mention this at the beginning. This is a retail arbitrage item. I'm not big on retail arbitrage really, but I was up in Colorado and with my wife and my son, and I saw these Ridge. This is a Ridge forged ember key case for $14.99 plus tax. And I looked them up. I immediately comped them because I bought one of these for my son for Christmas the year before. And I think I remember them being like 60 or 70 bucks whenever I bought his. And I was like, I think that's a good price. And I looked them up and it was a good price and they were selling. And then I let them sit. I don't know why I let them sit. I knew they were good items, but I did. And I got them listed up last week. I had bought 3 of them. Bought them at TJ Maxx. I bought 1 at one store and 2 at another store. And listed them for $49.89 plus $7.99 flat rate shipping. And did what I think is pretty well on them. I sold them this one within a week. Paid $16.19 with tax. Sold it for $49.89 plus $7.99 shipping. Full price. Did not promote it. Didn't promote it. Didn't promote the Pizza Stone. For a $27.78 pre-tax profit going to Bayshore, New York. I'm going to put this in a poly bag first. Then I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit of bubble wrap and get it in this box here. So, yeah, I thought for sure my kids were going to take them. They're going to be like, oh, I want those. And they're like, nah, we don't love them as much. My son actually lost the one I bought him. So I thought for sure he'd want a replacement, but he didn't really want one. So there we go. Good deal. Yeah, I was so happy to find those. And I was like, man, those are going to sell well. And that's the end of my tape. Okay. Well, heck, that's okay. I've got my old school tape gun with my eBay tape, backup tape on there. It feels funny using a little 2-inch tape gun when you've been using that big sucker. But I was excited to find those. I almost kept one for myself. And again, I was like, yeah, I don't really need it. I need to remind myself that I'm buying this stuff to sell, not to collect. So, and this ships at 8 ounces, boxed, packaged, everything. So super happy about that. That one. All right, get that one ready to go. And again, that one, no promotion and a $27.78 pre-tax profit on a $16.19 buy cost. Sold that in less than a week. Then about 2 hours after that one sold, somebody else bought one. So sold 2 in one day. It seems like maybe eBay grabbed a hold of that and said, hey, we've got a few people looking at them. Why don't we look at these ones right here? Which is interesting, again, because they weren't promoted. And there are other ones for sale. What I didn't look at is maybe I did price mine at the market selling price. There may be other people trying to sell them for more money. I listed this one and sold it the same at $49.89 plus $7.99 flat rate shipping. This one shipped a little closer to home. It shipped to Cedar Hill, Texas, just kind of out in the San Antonio-ish area. I used to have a customer out in Cedar Hill, Texas. Get this one wrapped up. Yeah, I was shocked when this one sold about 2 hours after that other one. Shocked in a good way, for sure. Again, I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Sold at full price, not trying to make an offer, no promotion fee, gonna make some money. So since this one was a little closer to home, the shipping, sorry about that. Sorry, I was talking over the tape. Since it was closer to home, the shipping costs less. So on this one, I paid $16.19, same by cost, but $49.89 plus $7.99 flat rate shipping for a $28.03 pre-tax profit. So that is what, 25 cents more than the other one. There we go. Overall, pretty good day. $70.03 in pre-tax profit for the day. I like that. Thank you. Not all days are like that, for sure. Not even last weekend was like that. Last weekend, I think I shipped out six items for $61 in profit. And I shipped out 3 items for $70 in profit. So more money, less items, less work. Better buying decisions on these items. That's what it comes down to, is getting the items that are going to sell. They have a good sell-through rate and just makes all the difference in the world. Thank you, Justin, for talking about not promoting your items right away and helping me make some more money on these items in particular. It really, every penny helps for sure. So it was a good deal. Well, if you have any comments or questions about anything I've said today, leave those down in the comment section and I'll make sure and get back to you. But if you aren't a reseller, you ought to be, because it's awesome. Have a great day.